Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So this is Miss Molin from Kenya. I want to thank you once again for tuning into my channel. Thank you so much for your support. And today I want us to prepare omena, and I've just soaked it in hot water to remove the sand that it comes with from the sea. And now I'm preparing my other ingredients, like I'm now cutting my coriander here, my green onions, and then I'm going to cut my tomato. If you don't, before you wash it, you have to ensure that you've removed all the shells. Some shells usually comes from the sea with it, so you have to ensure that you remove all the shells and any stone that you can see and any other dirt that you can see. Pick everything out. Then after picking everything out, then you wash it well. I prefer hot water because there's a way it soaks and removes all the sand from the head and any other place like the stomach, and ensures that you're going to eat your omena nicely without having anything knocking your mouth when you're eating. Now I am just cutting my onions. Once I finish cutting my onions, then I'm going to wash my omena here. Thank you very much, guys. I have a very ripe tomato here. When cooking with tomato, I prefer that one that is red. But when preparing my kachumbari, I prefer a yellow one. So kachumbari is just like a salad that is mixed with onions. You can, if you prefer green onions, if you prefer red onions, you can cut them. You can add anything else that you desire, like even avocado. You can cut your onions and then you cut your tomatoes, you mix them with your coriander, and then you put a bit of avocado in it. Usually it's very nice, and you can eat it with anything. Crunchy omena, you can eat it with fried French fries. You can eat it with anything. So in Kenya, this is a very common dish, this omena. It's a very, very common dish, especially in the western side of Kenya, where usually it's the Luos, the Kisis, and the Luyas. Many of them love omena. Anyway, everyone else in Kenya eats it, but mainly it's on that side. So here I've already washed it first time, and I just want to ensure that it drains all the water. I want to at least rinse it once again and put it in my sieve to allow it to drain all the water, so that when I'm frying, it's not going to take much of my oil, my vegetable oil. The best way to wash omena is after you soak it, you can pick it from the water if you have the spider kind of spoon. Okay, now this other side, I'm already cooking my ugali as I leave my omena to drain. I'm already cooking my ugali and my water has boiled, so I'm just adding my whole grain flour. This one is pure corn flour, but it's whole grain. So this is how we cook it. First of all, you have to let your water boil and then add the flour, and then keep turning as you cook well, and you turn and you mix well until it is well it's well cooked. Also, you will realize that when it's cooked, your sufurias and your whatever, it's now not very sticky. So my omena is draining the water as I cook my ugali. It's the best way. It's the main way that we eat omena. It's the what we used to eat omena with. You cannot eat omena with rice, or you cannot even eat omena with something like fries. We use it. We cook ugali when we're eating omena. When we're cooking omena, they get along very, very well. So my ugali is almost ready here, guys, and don't wonder how small it is. This is just supper for one. So thank you very much again for being my guest this evening. My ugali here is ready. I just want to put it in a plate, And then I'll continue cooking my omena. Now I'll add hot oil in a sufuria or a cooking pot, whichever term you prefer to use. So once I've put oil, I'll wait for it until it's hot. This is to ensure that my omena is going to cook faster. It's not going to break into small pieces. It's also not going to absorb so much oil when you let your oil be hot. This is already washed. It is already drained. It has already drained most of the water. Of course, it's still wet, but not so much wet. So once I put my omena in the sufuria, all I need to do is put the salt when it is still wettish. So, and then I'll keep turning it until it is brown and crunchy. So once I've realized that it's ready, now I'm adding my salt. Once I've realized that it's ready, I'm going to just separate a little and use it for my crunchy omena that I'm going to eat with kachumbari. But the other one, I'm going to add tomatoes and use ugali. Use vegetables, green vegetables, as a side dish. So here I am, guys. I already added my salt and I'm just turning it slowly by slowly. So today I planned to show you two ways of preparing omena. Either you can do the crunchy one and prepare kachumbari and eat with it. When you have made sure that it's already dry the way it is like this, what you do is just sprinkle some onions on it and then prepare your kachumbari and eat with it. So I've already separated them into two, and part of it I've just put in a separate plate where I'm going to use kachumbari, and I'll show you at the end of the video. But the rest I want to just add now tomatoes and cook them. Make a wet fry. This is also good. Just ensure that first of all you have to ensure that your omena is crunchy enough that whenever you add your tomatoes, it's not going to be come like it's not well cooked, because the water from the tomatoes will soak it. So ensure that it's very, very nicely crunchy before you add your other ingredients. So I want to add my tomatoes. I've already separated the ones that I want to eat crunchy. And my tomatoes, in this case, I've made like a cucumber. I've added my onions inside my tomatoes, and now I've just added directly once. Remember that before I'd already sprinkled some red onions and a little bit of garlic. That gives it a very nice aroma, especially the garlic. So my omena is, I'm waiting for my tomatoes to cook here now. In this case, our onions are going to be half cooked, and it's very nice, guys. You can try this recipe at home. I'm sure you'll love it. So here we have my wet fry, and my wet fry is wet and very nice because the omena was already very crunchy. So here, if you wish, you can add something like a cube. You can add like the other spices, but for me, I prefer to eat it the way it is. The only thing I'm going to add is coriander. You can add capsicum if you wish. But when you're adding something like garlic, you add when you've not added your tomatoes in the oil, and just ensure it cooks. When you're sprinkling your red onions, also sprinkle some garlic and then mix it. Give it some few minutes before you add your tomatoes. So my wet fry is almost ready here. All I'm left with is now letting my tomatoes cook nicely, and then just add a bit of coriander and leave when it's still not cooked, because I don't like my coriander when it's cooked, so much cooked. Now, thank you once again for creating time to be with me in this video. Please subscribe to support my channel. God bless you a lot. So see you again in my next video, and before this video ends, I want to show you the other crunchy one that I separated, and the kachumbari that I prepared. In this case, when you're preparing kachumbari is best with yellow onions. Don't take the one that is overripe, the ones that are too ripe. The ripe ones used to cook, but for the ones that you're going to take raw, take yellow ones. So I've just added one chili. This is just for the aroma, and now I'm adding my coriander, and that is done. Green chili. As you can see, all my spices are fresh ones. I rarely use the ones that are made from the supermarket, but when I use them, so I still use them, because I cannot say that I can't use them. I use them because they make your work so easy. But I don't like them so much. So here I have the crunchy one with kachumbari, and here I have my wet one. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.